Okay. I think I accidentally left the thing running for a little bit. Oh, wait. Oh. What? I went to go get some lunch. And,
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the Horsons who took...
That's excellent news.
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a...
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations...
What should I do with Pius?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a...
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius and...
Far from it, lad. But I have... Goodbye.
and that was really weird. I don't know why the hell he ran. But anyway, I just traveled from the city up here to Rattay to go talk to him. So I figured I better do that first before I do anything else. And also, because I needed to sleep off my injuries. And also, because I think I have a chest in here. Because... Oh, I need to turn those in. There's this, So, before I can really get into the cloister... And this is something I recommend, even though I think a lot of the stuff has been fixed, to look up bugs that are related to the quests in this game. I mean, there's not, like, that many bugs, but it happens, and they are kind of weird, like... And allegedly, when you go into the cloister, they, of course, make you turn everything in, and that can cause some problems, and they suggest that you turn... I was thinking of just stashing everything on my horse, which I probably should do, but I think I'll be fine. Should probably turn in those ears before I go back down. Plus, if I really need to, I do have extra stuff on my horse.
Yeah!
God almighty.
Yeah!
Should go into a monastery carrying carrying bandit ears. So I guess my next move is to try and find a way into the monastery, and I'm gonna have to go talk to some noble person to get it in. And then once I get in, I guess I need to find out which one of them is Pius, and then it looks like I'm going to have to arrest him. I really don't want to murder him. Oh, the captain's not here. Is he not here because it's raining? Captain can't handle a little bit of rain. Oh, it's actually good. I need to stop by. I'd have some beans and such. Keep my nourishment up. Keep that bonus.
Something you're looking for here?
This has never been a private area before.
Hey?
God be with you.
I have some,
Let's see. Bastard's dessert.
That's weird. I feel like when you fast travel and stuff like that, it can really mess up the clock. And it kind of messes up, which is, I think, part of the reason why, I end up with some of those problems where I go to a store that should be open, but then it's not, because it's fast travel shenanigans, and the internal clock doesn't want to actually keep track. A snare.
what's Beck got for?
Which, like I said, I don't currently have my weapons. So I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
Trying to sneak into a monastery. That monastery, right over there. Now let's have a look-see here. Carl?
Jesus Christ be praised.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes. Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel. So instead, I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you.
Could we speak in private?
Really? Well, I'd love to talk about it, but we won't have Get rid of him.
May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you. What do you...
You're Manfred.
Indeed I am.
7, 8, 9. Shit.
You must have a mighty thirst. Waiting here with him for days, just...
There's no doubt I'd enjoy a drink. Heaven knows I des...
So let's drink together.
I can see you're a
Good luck to you.
You're a brave soul taking me on. I'm not used to losing.
Okay, now I have to remember how to play dice. I think... And I just need to not bust. Okay. Ones and fives. And triples.
That'll do me.
Dice is made to be thrown,
Ah,
not to
crap,
sit on
I
the
hit the wrong
table
button.
ignored.
You had a bunch of fun. Need to keep my... But I don't
This'll
think it
be the
matters if I win or lose. I think the whole point...
God's
right now-
holy hat!
Oh, bless me, is to get him drunk. Okay, here's a 5. And a 1. And I want F. Score those. Let's roll again.
There's cautious, and then there's chicken. Which is it? That's it.
And I'm like... Holy crap.
Now
Holy
you.
crap. Really? He gets that lucky? I watch him get like 4 ones. Actually, I think he only needs 3 ones. Or that. There we go.
Mine. I've had enough.
And you said you wouldn't drink today.
Silence! I'm going to sleep. Here's a few coins. Have fun. Tomorrow, we're going to the monastery. Is that clear?
Couldn't you give me more? This isn't even enough for a toothless whore.
It's enough for beer. Good night.
Ale for me. One beer.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monitor.
Why are you being sent to them?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the Lord of your fief.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The Lord of Bookover was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
Here we are.
Why did you guard you?
So I don't run away. Of course, I'm free to walk around, but he watches every...
Well, he's not watching you now.
What good is that to me when he has all the money? And even my saddle and riding cloak under...
How about a bit of grub?
What if I entered...
What? Voluntarily? You can only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are.
So you give me your writ?
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he'll...
So I'll steal it, and then you can just...
disappear? Bare-arsed? What the hell would I do?
But there are poor people everywhere, and they get...
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the...
That's all then.
May the Lord watch over you. Pull me an ale.
And just for safekeeping, let's knock him out.
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the...
Here, just as you ordered.
Here you are.
Good luck. No,
And what are you going to do?
get my things together and disappear. I want to... Take care now.
Certainly, I'll fetch it right away.
Now off to the monastery to get in. Hopefully I can split this thing wide open.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
Well, that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire.
You took him without the letter?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone. But he's a priest and knows how things work in the You're a different case, though.
Naturally. I wouldn't be here.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and Renat?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and... Farewell.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Hey dude, how's it going?
Oh, hey!
How's shit, man?
I'm about to take vows. That's what's going on.
You're about to take vows?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I'm totally lying about it because I need to find,
Oh, okay, hold on. In the game. Got it.
yeah.
I was very confused as to why you were on Discord before taking vows of some sort.
But I gotta find, I gotta find this one dude, because well, one group wants me to murder him, but my lord wants me to just arrest him because he's a bad guy.
Murder him, dude. Murder him in the fucking
We have
face,
gathered
dude.
here today to
And then
welcome a
also,
new novice
someone in
into
this
our
monastery
midst.
was behind the counterfeiting of money.
Dear brother,
Right.
forget your former life and embrace your new vocation
probably the Pope,
in the
dude.
community of the
Ooh,
monks of Saint Benedict.
Monks of Saint Benedict. Benedictine monks.
Opus Dei, obedientia.
The fuck are you playing, man?
The service of God,
Kingdom
obedience,
Come.
and endurance of all discomfort.
Right in
These
Kyler's
are the
mom.
been playing-
cornerstones and succor of our order,
You've been-
which on this day shall become
You've been
your
playing a lot
own.
of that recently.
I have been. It's actually a lot of fun.
Good?
Um,
Yeah.
Suscipe
Wait 1 second.
me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum, et vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam. Et non
My character doesn't know Latin
confundas
shit.
me ab expectatione
Oh my god!
mei.
And they're all like, oh my god! And they're just gritting their teeth.
Accept
Tell you
your
what,
new
I have
name,
no idea what was going
Father
on.
Gregor,
I just had like
and wear it with honor.
a massive amount of laughter.
Welcome,
sorry.
brother.
That's alright. I'm not complaining.
So I guess I showed up late to taking vows. And they're like, oh, I'm supposed to sing Latin?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Apparently my character
Welcome,
doesn't.
brother. I am Antonius,
Oh,
No
a
Latin.
novice like you. I've been
exactly.
instructed to guide you around
Yeah.
the monastery and tell you what you can
I was
expect
going to ask you,
and
man.
what your
'Cause
duties
actually, the reason why I was even looking at this Discord was I was going to ask, do we have a date for the next D&D session?
As far as I know, I'm still planning on this Saturday, unless something really comes up and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm
Excellent.
also not opposed to, if need be, just having smaller, shorter. I mean, I understand, like,
Yeah.
even though I don't
No,
know
it's
how
not
that
like,
how that would work, because again, there are like my buddy Wade who plays with us. Like he works from like 5 something in the morning until 3 in the afternoon.
yeah. Well, I'm good for whatever time. That's so that's something to you to talk with Wade or whatever with.
And Kyler and
Yeah, but yeah. The one thing was like, dude, don't feel like uncomfortable about stopping the game if you get to somewhere that you're
Thanks
not
for
prepared
helping
for.
me out during the ceremony.
By the way,
I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
well,
you sort
You
of
don't know
got
Latin,
to
do
this
you?
mine area and
Don't
you were
worry.
like, ah, shit.
Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly
And
are
like,
you
just
here?
honestly, like, I think
Was it your choice?
like
Did someone
everyone
force you to
prefers having like a really well done game, and if you don't feel like you can do it to the best of your ability, right? You just stop the game and you go, hey man, I'm not prepared for this bit. Didn't expect you guys to go this way. Yeah, let's call it a night or something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't stress about that, man. That's just that's so normal. That's one of the things I've learned as a DM. It's like
I'm being punished.
don't ever stress
If it
about
were up to
pulling
me,
it off,
I'd
even
still
if
be
you're like
spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
like doing something
don't
that
envy
you
you.
prepared, right? And then
Unfortunately,
everything
you're here
goes
for
to
the rest
shit,
of your
and you're
life.
like, I don't know how to handle this. Like everyone would prefer
Would you tell me something about
generally if you
I'm a
just say,
novice
hey,
and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant.
not feeling it today,
I like
or
books
you know
and I want
whatever.
an education.
Like none of my
Although I
characters are
must
landing
say,
or whatever.
so far
Like
the monastic
just gonna
life's
call
been
off.
quite
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that
unexpected.
yours didn't. I really enjoyed the session last week.
Yeah. That's good.
At least for the bit where you'd already prepared. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't have anything, like, I'd already thought about what would happen if you guys went there, I just didn't draw the map.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand.
So, I mean, really, all I need is the map, and then the whole thing's done. Except for,
Yeah.
I did, especially now that you're here, I did change up some of the encounters.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm actually slightly more excited.
I mean, I don't
because-
know about. I don't get to know about any of that, obviously, because I am a player. I just get to see which encounter you put in front of us.
Exactly, but now that you're here, like I can now have. Well, granted, I need to talk to Hunter and find out
If
what
he's coming back.
what his deal is,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna run his character, especially since like it needs to be leveled.
Yeah, in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
Good. But
No, I really
before we
enjoyed the
do,
session, honestly.
here's a letter
It's
directly
really
from the
good to be
prior
playing
telling you all your
D&D
regular
again, you
duties
know?
from tomorrow onward. Make sure to read it this evening.
I was a bit
so
worried
you know
that
how things
because
work.
you've got some quite
Right, you can go
quiet
now.
players in that group.
Follow me closely. I'll explain everything
Well,
as we go.
Well, it's their first. Well,
Remember
it's not.
one word.
It's not Wade's first
Discipline.
time,
Yeah.
It's your job to work.
but
But,
it's Bear Mauler's.
I was a little
Serve the
worried that
Lord,
maybe I was like
not your
snowballing
own
them, but
bodily
like
needs.
Jordan reassured me that I wasn't. Sorry, not snowballing, like running over him.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Steamroller.
Because I've always been, yeah. I've always been quite a loud player, and so like I actively try to take like note
then,
of when I'm
you will.
like steamrolling over people, and like oftentimes the cue is, hey, there's someone being like very quiet in this group, right?
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all
And
sleep.
so I was like,
You'll find a free bed.
am
there,
I or am I
which is
not?
now
I don't
yours.
really know.
Do you know the first
Yeah.
thing the monastery taught me?
TLDR,
appreciate sleep.
feel free to call me out on it
You
if I
rise
am
before dawn
steamrolling
every day.
over them, because
Takes
I
a bit
can't
of
tell
getting
with
used
them.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeet.
totally
Where
forgot what I
is
was gonna
this
say.
further?
Which no, you shouldn't be worried. They're cool people, and
Oh yeah, no, that's not. I'm not worried that they're not cool people. I'm worried that yeah, I'm like steamrolling over them.
well, yeah.
And, like,
But no,
yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
But anyway, so Kingdom Come. Well, it's very like the RPG element is very, in my opinion, reminds me a lot about Elder Scrolls. But also think it's also in the way of kind of reminds me of Elder Scrolls mixed with like maybe Dragon Age or The Witcher.
Yeah.
Because there are 3 ways to save. Well, technically 4 if you talk about when the game auto saves after you complete certain quests. But there's 3 ways to save the game. The first way, of course, is to they have special potions. You're supposed to drink this potion, and it saves the game. Which actually, am I out? I'm out. I can't save the game right now, which is weird. Very, very weird. So which you have to buy them or you have to make them with alchemy, and I have yet to find where the materials for it grow to pick my own.
Right.
So I usually just buy material. Anyway, which is nice because I should be able to find lots of it here at the monastery. Secondly, sleeping in your bed saves the game.
Okay.
Third is you can visit the bathhouse and buy a whore.
Fair enough.
That is how you save the
Good
game.
news, everyone.
Because
Good
technically,
news.
yeah. And so,
Very
and
funny.
whores clean all of your clothes. You
that's
become well rested, and you gain nourishment for like. I guess they feed you. Which
fair
reminds
enough.
me that I need to check my. Oh, look at my nourishment's fine. Which I need to.
Sorry, I was also gonna ask you, man. Like, is this your
This is the
first
garden.
campaign,
No,
or is this no?
no. I mean, it's been a while since I've
Yeah.
done a campaign.
Yeah.
Because like I was playing with Kyler and Gilded.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I mean as a DM.
No, I've DM'd before.
No. Okay. Sure. Fair enough.
Like I said, it's just been a while since I have.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because I really didn't play a whole lot in college.
Mm.
Because I never really had friends that played in college.
Oh, that sucks ass, dude.
Well, I say that, and then I was in college when I was hanging out with Gilded and Kyler.
Yeah,
I've only been
yeah.
out of college now for 4 years.
Right. Yeah, fair.
But which that didn't really work out because that was just weird.
What, the one with Gilded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily all his fault. To why that D&D didn't work out. It was also partially his fault. And I kind of got mad at. But anyway, that's a different story that you probably don't.
As a very left-leaning person, I I find Gilded very strange.
He.
Like I 100% sympathize with the people who are what's the word? Like left leaning. Um, I think you know what I mean, right?
Sure.
Hopefully. I just can't think of a
Are we,
word that like
are we
adequately
talking about
describes the situation.
like when you're saying left leaning? Are we
I'm
talking
talking
about like
about
politics, or are we talking about like?
talking about politics, like
Okay.
specifically like LGBT sort of politics and that sort of line of thinking.
Oh, because we're talking
Like
about
yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah. Like
Okay.
I'm very like I've been part of like many LGBT groups in my life. Um, as
Yeah.
being
That
being
even though
like a
that actually
bisexual
has
person, right?
nothing to do with it. I mean,
Um,
in a
I
way,
find him very strange in. Wait, is it? Wait, her. I find her very strange. In a lot of her sort of positions, and that strikes me as like you know,
Gilded has a lot of problems because
mm,
Gilded lets Gilded's problems kind of pile up and doesn't
sure,
deal with them until they blow up. And
yeah,
personally, I say this as well, it doesn't really matter. Personally, I have a feeling that Gilded has gotten lots of bad advice.
yeah.
And that's one of the
honestly
reasons
fair.
why my friendship with Gilded got ruined. Is
Hmm.
so much that Gilded started hanging out with this other person and listening to
Right.
this other person, and this other
Damn,
person was
Jordan.
was talking
I'm
shit
kidding.
about me, and this is a person
Mm,
I have never talked to. I don't know who this
yeah.
is, and it's one of my like. I get that people have to vent and stuff like that. Like I talk to
Mm,
Jordan about stuff, but like, and here I am. Well, actually, you've met Gilded, right?
yeah. Yeah. Well, I met Gilded before the transition, and I've met like very limited amounts of Gilded after the transition. Um, but that's just because like I think I first met Gilded in when it was like year 12 for me, so right at the end of high school was when I
Uh huh.
first met Gilded and hung out with them a bit. Didn't really, honestly, never really liked Gilded a great amount.
That's
Um,
fair. Alright, there's a
but
lot of people who don't necessarily like Gilded a whole lot amount.
that's fine, like whatever. But now I'm part of their Discord server now, and just some of the shit they talk about is just I don't know, man. Like I'm a very open-minded person, but
I left well anyway because that
yeah.
but which is why I feel bad for which I mean because I don't want Kyler to have to choose and I don't want Kyler that kind of
Jordan,
stuff
no, Jordan knows what's up, man. He's
because
because like
he
you got to
went
remember at one point, fucking Gilded decided that Jordan was a cisgendered piece of shit who fucking hated anyone who was like not cis and not gay and not white.
which is
So,
really hilarious
which
because
is really strange because Jordan is such a, he's such a
exactly
like
like
nice guy. He's like literally like I couldn't ever imagine him thinking something that's so like shitty, you
and
know?
having met a lot of Kyler's gay friends,
Yeah, that's the one, right?
a lot of those gay Australians.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, Jordan just doesn't give a shit.
it's just weird, right?
Mm.
And this
Yeah, it's
and
like
then
a,
and then like the shit Gilded accused me of, and like I told like, and then I thought we were past that, but then we weren't. And I said I can't deal with that. This is why I stopped.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely ridiculous, and a lot of that comes from that other person that Gilded talks to and is Gilded is listening
What
to.
did he accuse you of? If you don't mind me asking.
That I was apparently like. Well, first he accused me of being like a domineering asshole. Like that I was this
Fair.
super controlling person that was getting him to do a bunch of stuff that he didn't want to do. And I don't know if you know me enough since we haven't really known each other that long, but that is not me at all. Like, I very much,
Yeah.
because first of all, I believe that I can't really force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Like, if I actually, I feel like if I try to make you do something you don't want to do, you'll just leave, right? You'll be like, screw that man, I'm gonna go. But for some reason, like, and I'm not a, like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird
Yeah,
to me.
no,
I
I
was like,
understand.
I don't know where you're getting this, Gilded, that I'm, it was more of it was just weird. And then
Yeah,
this,
it's because. But yeah, some people tend to look at any request as a demand, and it's fucking weird, man. It's like you go, "Hey, man, do you mind doing this for me?" Right? And they're like,
but
"Yeah, sure."
and like it was understandable because he had like medical concerns, and this is when he was actually talking to a therapist at the same time, trying to figure out, which is really weird. I understand because Gilded does have a trouble like explaining things and actually coming out and talking about stuff, because he was asking me this question when he was talking to when going through the therapist, and before coming to the conclusion that he was trans,
Mm.
he asked me like what I thought about him, and I was like, what do you want me to do? Want me to describe you? Like, I don't understand. Because he was trying to wrestle with that problem, and he wanted me to help, but he wouldn't actually tell me what the problem was.
How do people? Yeah, how do people outside of me see me so I can tell whether or not I am trans or not? Like obviously, I must be as a trans person front facing, right? Like that's the idea, right?
Exactly, and it's like but
Yeah.
that's also like I can't help you with that. I'm not
Like
you.
people must be able to tell, but like yeah, obviously like that's not a correct way of thinking about it. It's probably unhelpful.
Yeah, but he wouldn't tell me that's what he wanted,
Yeah.
so I had no clue how to help him at that time.
Mm.
Because he wasn't actually just asking me the question. He wasn't talking
But
to me.
it's difficult.
I know, and I understand. I understand. Like that doesn't bother me. It's just so like
Yeah.
anxiety and pressure and all this other stuff, which like and a bunch of other things. Yet medical, like I get it. Like he wasn't sleeping, all that kind of stuff. Like, but I just wasn't gonna deal with the craziness anymore after he started accusing me of like other stuff. And,
Oh look, I have a very good friend. He actually like married us. He went and he did like his thing so he could marry us, right? Which is a lot bigger of a thing over here than it is in the US, by the way.
I'd like to ask you something
Because
about
the US you can do it very quickly. Over here it's a couple of month course and it's a proper thing.
Wow.
Anyway, lovely guy. He's like been like a really good friend, like probably my best friend for
Tell me
like the
something about
longest
life
time.
Work,
We met
prayer.
like just after high school, so in about
Oh, there,
2011
yes.
we met.
From the moment
And
talk
we've worked
began
on
about electing a new
he's a
abbot,
physicist.
Speak-
We've worked on like so many
me
problems
something
together.
about
Like my
Abbot
major
Peter
problem
is
is
old.
Cole's conjecture,
When he
which
dies,
is what I
they'll
work
have to
on
select
like
a new
as
abbot
my sort
from
of like
amongst the
pride and
brethren.
joy. Like we've worked on that together, and it's just like I don't know, I love the guy, right? But he's got mental health issues in the way that he's like bipolar.
Yeah.
And he has like schizoactive bipolar, I think.
Oh.
And so it becomes quite difficult, and I'm fairly convinced that he's going to end up in the next 5-10 years. I think he's going to end up in some sort of home because I don't think he's going to be able to take care of himself. But he's incredibly difficult, right? Like he's in the same way that like Gilded requires a lot of focus and will like I'm not saying that Gilded has the same issue, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. But in the same way, like it comes with its sets of problems, right? And you have to make that decision: is this person a good enough friend that I'm willing to, for the rest of my life, have a relationship where this person takes way more than they ever give back to me, right? And you have to
Yeah.
make that decision, right? And like it's very different for my friend, right? Because my friend has been an integral part of my life for a long time, and like I've started thinking of him as family, and he's more, he's definitely fallen on that side of like yeah, like I have to like limit the amount that of damage he can do to
Well,
my
that's
life,
all.
right? In terms of like like just stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when he needs me, I go, right? Whereas like sometimes you just have to admit, like this person doesn't mean enough for me for them to take this amount of resources out of my life. You know, I feel like that's where Gilded might lie. Is he sort of lies in that? Yeah, he seems to take a lot of resources.
Yes, yes, he does.
Yeah. It's just
Here at the
it's just a
factory,
shame when friendships go
Scriptorium,
that way.
together
But
with
Yes.
the library. These are the places where we
good to
work.
identify when they are.
Ora et labora. Pray.
Chuck those on the ground. There we go.
Of course, I also, yeah, I don't know. It's just, but that actually had nothing to do with the D&D.
Yeah. Look.
Because Gilded just does not, and I don't know why that is that he doesn't deal with, I mean, obviously there's probably part of it's his upbringing, or his place in the family, and also because he, I think, is somewhere pretty far on the spectrum. Because I don't think he had a whole lot of friends, and I think he had a lot of social issues. And
Wait, you think that Gilda's is on the spectrum?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that... Of course, that's another thing where it's just an easy explanation for the fact that he just somehow just didn't pick up the social skills or just didn't have friends. Because he is weird, right? Gilda's weird. And sometimes kids are just weird, and so they're somewhat ostracized, right?
Sure.
And it has nothing necessarily to do with autism. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people who aren't autistic who also just didn't have friends.
Sure.
For
Yeah.
myriads of reasons. And
I'm trying to think whether I feel like he ticks the categories. I
mean,
know.
I would have my suspicions based on what I do know of his high school career and schooling in general. But, and just the fact that, but he just does not enjoy conflict at all, which is one of the reasons why he's a very permissive DM. And the special snowflakeness, but it's also, also why it was very difficult to be friends with him, because it's one of those things where I basically had to fight to get back into the D&D game that I was already in. Because he kind of didn't tell me he was doing it. But I think that was also partially because instead of just saying, hey, I have 4 players and I only want 4 players, he just proceeded to just not tell me about the D&D game.
Yeah.
He just hid it from me in a way. And then because one of the other players couldn't play because of college reasons, who I haven't talked to in a while. That's how I ended up.
Hold on, was this the Shadowrun game, or was a different one?
Well, this is the one, like, we played D&D, and then we took a break to play Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Because he wrote
Okay.
Because we went through the Mines of Van Dev... I can never pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, sure.
But that whole campaign and the Flying Castle, blah, 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 we did all of that. It was me, Kyler, and these 2 other people. Well, there was also, like, a 5th... I don't know. Some of the players changed, and some of those were bad ideas. Oh, I think there was a 5th one, because that one person that, like, Mila met randomly didn't really know this person, but was in a TeamSpeak with this person, and he had said something about 5e being bad or something, so she invited him to Gilded's game.
Right.
Because that's the kind of person Mila is.
There you go.
And he ended up being a total shitter, and
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Granted, I'm sure as you've gathered, I don't have a high opinion of Mila either.
Right. I don't know who Mila is, so...
Exactly. And you were luckier for it, I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
I have some of it recorded. I don't think I recorded the very last session where she actually broke, like, so, and then we moved on to what's the module where they're trying to bring Tiamat back? Is it Horde the Dragon Queen?
Rise of the
Or no,
something, isn't it?
Or is it Rise of Tiamat? I don't know. I think it might be just
Rise of Tiamat, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we were playing through that. That was the module Gilded was using for the basis of his campaign. And we were on that part, and we find where the cult is, and of course the big final battle, spoiler alert, is of course like Tiamat's coming out, and you have to stop them from summoning Tiamat. And like Mila literally broke down because it looked like we might not win.
Oh.
And we're like, it was like, Mila, you need to chill out. Like, this is the game. We're having fun. You're sucking all the fun out. That was kind of my point. I mean, I didn't actually like say that directly.
Was she like? So hold on. Was she like crying? Was she like?
So like
angry.
She was tilted, like super tilted.
Oh, so she was just super angry.
Yeah, and like she was just upset. Okay. I was like, it was kind of like.
Yeah, sorry. Well, because
like
when you
tears,
say
but like
someone was
angry
breaking down.
Yeah. So
right,
she was
so strange.
She was super tilted. Like, this is D&D. Like, win or lose.
Like, yeah.
It was, and up to then, it was like one of the best sessions we had ever had, and I was having super fun. Because I didn't have a whole lot of fun during that campaign. And admittedly, looking back, I necessarily wasn't the best player.
But that's the thing, right? Like, looking back at all my D&D experiences, I haven't been the best player, but like I've learned from everything that I've done wrong, you know?
But at the same time,
go, hey.
I wasn't able to express myself in the game either, because, and this is one of the reasons why I don't particularly care for Mila, is because she's kind of just, she's a steamroll. She actually was kind of a steamroll, and she took up all of the time. I didn't have a chance to really do any of the stuff that I probably would have wanted to do. And then like they were complaining about my character, which they knew nothing about, because like they wouldn't interact. It's like, well, you don't know anything about my character, and I don't know anything about your character because you're taking up all your time to do other things, which you are free to do that, but then you can't come back and like, you know.
Oh,
I'm still a little salty about that, and I like to but not like this, like, you know, kind of the fun, like ha ha ha, so, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
because I like to poke Kyler with it sometimes, because like it was a real shit show, and he's like, oh my god, you're bringing that up again? Of course I am, because you know it annoys you so when I do that.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand.
But
I think it sucks. But like, from what it sounds like every starting D&D group ever, right?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like every single,
But then I was kind of done with D&D because like Mila was pretty much in all of like Gilda's games. Like, I don't really want to play with Mila. And then he was also doing one of those. What's it called when you kind of everyone like takes turns DMing? Like it's a continuous story, but you just kind of rotate.
Well, what's it called? It's called Stupid. Nice.
And it had like this weird rotating flexible schedule, and at the time it's like, no, I can't really do that. These are the only days. Like,
I really don't like D&D. If it's too rotating, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't particularly care for that either. I mean, it makes sense when like
one of two things happens, right? Two things happens. Either you lose someone because they can never make the times that everyone else does, and then you never like actually manage to make a time, and then you never end up playing D&D again. Or it ends up like, it's just super infrequent, right?
Yeah, which is why I was saying I wouldn't mind. I'm going to go ahead because I remember this, and because I was reminded of this from when I was reading the story about these people who've been playing this, like basically the same. I mean, it's not the same campaign, essentially, but I mean, it's basically in the same world. It really is. It's the same game of D&D for like the past 30-some years.
Yeah.
Right. And they were talking about their experiences in high school, which might have been my experience in high school. You know, where you would go and you play at lunch. and then you might continue the game after lunch. And this whole idea, you kind of just play D&D whenever you could. And like, so what
Yeah.
if you have a 10 or 15 minute session? 10 and 15 minutes is still like plenty of time to do
Yeah, it's still something. Yeah.
something, right? And like, I have no problem doing that. Like, if we can only meet for an hour here and an hour there, that is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah.
If
The thing is, it doesn't work amazingly, right?
now that you're adult, and now that we're
now that
adults
you're
and
adults,
have
right?
adult
and
stuff
we
to
know
do.
when you know when you're free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. The biggest part of it is just like,
As a novice,
yeah,
I
it's
must
just
always
like
listen
every
to your superior
like what you
brethren,
really want is
and
for
the other
every like
monks of the prior,
minute of
and the
D&D
cicadas,
to be meaningful,
punish every
right?
infraction.
Or like
You'll
not
know them by
meaningful,
the
but like
canes they carry. Do
you know what I
they
mean?
say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like the worst thing is when you, as an adult, you put aside time, and you end up like losing that time, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Which is
like
which is kind of the only reason why I wish. I really don't want to go through high school again. Like, there's a lot of people like, oh
Yeah.
man, like, and they remember like, the one nice thing about high school was the huge amount of free time that you had, and the same thing with college. I would much rather go back and relive college years than high school years. Granted, it wasn't that long ago, but it's also like the huge amounts of free time that you can have to kind of do whatever you want. And like, I think college time, well, that really would have been like the heyday for D&D, and I kind of wish that I'd done. Oh, hi, Kitty. Did you bring your mouse down? She likes to do that. She likes.
yeah,
to...
I understand. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon
This is the
I haven't
refectory,
eaten yet.
where we come
It's
together
1
to
a.m.
eat. During meals, you must be silent.
I just realized I should
Only one brother reads aloud from the rule of Saint Benedict.
thought that at some point. Anyway,
The rule is the only law
yeah, I
in the
understand what you're
with the
saying.
exception of those from God himself.
Like, obviously, it was really good to have
Any
all
of
that
its
free
precepts
time, but also you were
expect a
surrounded
swift
by
punishment.
like teenagers,
already
which are
told you about
basically
the
like
senators.
self-centered, like
Yes,
I don't know,
exactly.
psychopaths,
Teenagers, as a
right?
teacher, I could tell you that teenagers are terrible people. That's why we send them to
Yeah.
school, to make them less terrible people.
exactly, right?
Oh, get it, cat. That's right. Like, she's
Yeah,
flipping
no,
it in the
I
air and then
understand
catching it. It's actually
exactly what you're saying.
yeah, and
And then simultaneously, you were a terrible person, and you
Exactly.
didn't realize it at the time. But holy shit, you were a piece of shit. Like,
I get it. Yeah. I realized
Yeah.
that I was, and I can say that like, oh man, like teenagers are terrible people, and I was a terrible person too. But now, like, I understand that. And then I'm trying to think back of how ridiculous those games were back then. Because teenagers just do some of the stupidest shit, and we thought it was hilarious at the time. Granted, this
Yeah.
isn't the game we're currently in isn't the most mature game.
oh look, yeah, but like we're all very clearly adults there. I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah, we're purposely
Like,
being juvenile.
We're being silly and we're doing funny things, and like that's fine, right? But it's when oftentimes the reason why teenagers do something like stuff like that and make jokes like that is for self gratification, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes like really like, you know.
Because we need, teenagers need attention and spotlight. And,
Yeah. Right.
And also
Exactly.
for validation, because as your friends become the most important thing in your life, like, you want your friends to like you, so you do things your friends will like, so that they think you're cool and continue to like you.
Yeah. That's the one. Me, none of my friends like me, so I
You
just
don't-
come to terms with it. I just find situations where people are obligated to hang out with me.
The pride of our
That's
monastery.
how I got married.
A trove of learning. We don't just read books here. We also copy.
I was like, honey, but I paid for the wedding already. You're obligated.
And that's all. Today you are still free from duty. But tomorrow you begin work on the others. If you need anything,
Alright,
ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you.
Dumb.
And I recommend you get to know
Yeah,
the
man.
other
I
novices.
don't know. I just
You already know me.
there's a
there
level
is
of
Siski,
game where people
Yodok,
aren't really
and
ready
Lucas.
to, like,
Thanks
you
for
know,
showing me around.
like play it.
There's a lot to learn here.
That is just like, yeah, like when
Will
people
you
are
tell
just
me
starting
something? There's
D&D,
not much to tell.
like
I lived
they
in
seem
Blashy,
to
and after my
revert
father
to
died,
that sort
I
of
found
teenager
out it's
state. You know what I
peaceful here.
mean?
So you chose to.
Where they
It may
just do
seem
dumb
strange,
shit
but
and
I'm-
like self-congratulating shit, and then
Yeah.
it's like holy shit, and it's like look, and it takes people a long time to realize that D&D isn't a video game
Yeah.
that's focused on them,
Yeah.
and that it's like a group storytelling sort of exercise almost.
Which is things that really sort of annoy me about MMOs. Like WoW started going about like focusing like more and more on you and you and you, but it's not about me.
Sure.
And then that's where I started to lose interest in Guild Wars when the path starts to split off into yourself, and then
Yeah.
that's why I don't necessarily like ESO, because I didn't want to play like
Mm.
I love Elder Scrolls. But
Yeah.
I started to find myself when I'm playing Skyrim is that I don't want to be the Dragonborn.
Right.
Which is why I kind of like this. Like, which granted, while I'm still playing which is, of course, this is different. I'm playing a character. I'm playing as Henry, right?
Mm.
And I would love them to make a game where you're just a person,
Mm.
and that's what like.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other games for that, right? That's Mountain
Well,
Blade, you know.
well, yeah, and God damn it, can the sequel not come out fast enough?
Oh my god, Jordan and I have been talking about that like constantly for the last couple of months. Because I realized that also he was waiting for it.
Because like,
my
and
lord.
I keep finding myself looking for games that tide me over, which is one of the reasons why I was playing Crusader Kings, which is also I would consider Crusader Kings more of an RPG than a strategy game, really, because you're really
Yeah.
playing a sequence of characters. But
Yeah, Crusader Kings is a lot of fun for that very reason, right? Is that you get to play as like, you know, something insignificant. You know? Like you have no special bonuses above everyone else, you know?
and then of
Does that
course
make
that
sense?
made but that made me wanted like I really like I kind of want there to be a game where you basically are just playing a feudalism. Like you're just playing feudalism. Like you're playing as a feudal lord or someone. And I know there's I think Life is Feudal is a game that can do that, but I've heard not nice things about it. And then
Look,
obviously
I
a lot
mean,
of
I
times it
haven't
comes
played
back
it,
to
but-
Mountain Blade. Is what I'm saying. It's a lot
Yeah.
of times the game I'm looking for comes back to Mountain Blade, even then I don't think I would be satisfied with Mountain Blade entirely. Even though I really, really want the sequel to come out, and I probably should.
Yeah, well, it looks really fucking good as well. They've got they've got all those the markets and stuff all set up so that it actually works as a market and you can like throttle trade and the stuff like that, right?
Exactly, and
And that looks really fun. And hopefully that means that you can play as like I remember when I first started playing Mountain Blade, people were like, "Oh my god, it's so good because I can, if I really want to, I can decide, hey, I'm just gonna like corner the fucking like wheat trade. I'm just gonna go around. I'm gonna buy up all the wheat, and then I'm gonna sell all the wheat. I'm just gonna make massive amounts of profit, and then I'm gonna buy armies, and then I'm gonna slowly become ruler, right? Just from my like cornering of the wheat market, right?
yeah,
And like that was like the big thing that people were really enjoying about Mountain Blade, right? Is that you had so many options to get to where you wanted to go.
yeah,
And like you didn't necessarily have to go anywhere, right? Because there was no like expectation that you finish a quest, or there was no expectation that you became great at the end of it, so you could just do whatever. And that was one of the great things, and I'm hoping that Mountain Blade, Bannerlord has like a focus on that, right? Like a hyper focus on like allowing you to do whatever you want in terms of like that sort of stuff, right? So like you could go up and become like Merchant King, or you could like just like remain like, you know, a foot soldier in an army, you know, which and it looks like from the what they've released thus far that it's going to be a lot like that. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, and that was the really cool thing. I'm kind of wondering if, not in the base game, but I was also thinking because there is the whole point where, because there's another piece that's missing. So you of course you have where you have the feudal lords and the knights and the peasant farmers, right? And then you also have the merchants and stuff like that. But then they also, and maybe I'm totally, no, I'm not forgetting, but is the fact that they're leaving out the church and how that was actually a really important part, and the fact that you could go and like bishops were really powerful.
Yeah, but I don't know how you'd implement something like that. You know?
I know, and I think that would make like a decent DLC.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder how you'd even implement something like that.
And also depending on the time, and there's also all kinds of ways.
I wonder whether I wonder whether their funding might actually have issues with that as well. Just because they're you know they're funded by the Turkish government.
Are they?
Yeah. So the Turkish government has a program for
I didn't even know they were Turkish.
For I think they are. I think it's Turkey. But there's a program for bloody for art. And they give out money to artists and
Who would
Mountain
you
Blade.
choose it? Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote?
Mountain Blade,
Gregor?
Turkish government. Maybe I'm pretty sure. Let's just make sure. Yeah. The Turkish government finances artistic endeavors in culture, technology, etc. Yeah.
Ah, Greg.
Is there anything I can...
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing, a silly thing really. But not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled...
Ovid? What is that?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great
basically
Roman
subsidized by the
Now I believe I can
by the
guess
Turkish
what
government.
Brother Eustace, may the earth rest slightly on him, was
which is
quite
pretty cool, I guess.
narrow-minded when it came to classical literature.
But I wonder whether
if he'd had his way,
because the Turkish
all
government
such
isn't exactly
books
the
would have been
most
burned.
open government. I wonder whether
Ovid's The Art
maybe
of Love.
including religious themes or that sort of
would
thing
you like me to put the book back
might
together again?
Absolutely.
circumvent their
Eustace's
funding.
wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy. I imagine he hid them throughout
Maybe.
the monastery.
I don't know.
It might take you a
I don't know
while
much
to
about the
find
Turkish
them
government.
all, but when you do, you can rest.
Well, I mean, the thing is also, since you have basically a bunch of different cultures, you could also split it up and do it a bunch of different ways. And then
Yeah, that's true.
so obviously you could have, since everybody's like sort of an analog for something else, you could have, you know, obviously the Roman Catholic and then the Orthodox.
Again, like I don't know much about the Turkish government.
I know.
But from what I've
I'm just
heard,
saying.
it's quite,
I'm just saying.
I wonder whether analogs for
And then also
because it'd be
for
thinly
Islam.
veiled as well, and yeah.
As a way, like another way to progress and achieve power and study and learn and acquire money, because
Well, maybe they will introduce that. Who knows? And I'm sure if they don't introduce that, I'm sure someone will make a mod of it.
and then yeah, because that's a thing in. It was very important and played a huge role
Yeah.
in medieval society and even today, but
Alright, I'm gonna jump out for a bit. I'll be back in like at
Good.
max half
I'll
an
look
hour.
around.
Thank you.
okay.
It's of no
I'm gonna
great
go and find myself
importance,
some
but you
food.
can find all 10 pages.
Have fun.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Where should I look?
Enjoy
If I
playing your
knew, I
game.
wouldn't have asked you to do it. The page,
Don't forget to take those
Can you
vows
tell me
better
something?
next time.
the
Nice.
art of
Bye.
love.
Contain something.
Is it possible to learn something about the other?
Only the abbot, and
And can I see them?
no. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chamber.
I'd like to ask. Can you tell me some?
Ha! 7 centuries ago, Saint Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The out
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
and what should be going on. The sky is just as blue, and the grass is just as green. Perhaps
I'm interested.
it was founded by Saint Procopius 500 years ago. After his death, heretics occupied the place for some time, but then the order was restored.
Heretics, you said?
They wanted to worship God with some foreign rituals, in a language foreign to God. They were
What are the roles of?
Well, the abbot is the head. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circators.
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your
I meant something specific.
but you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Antonius is hard-working and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse, and no one knows.
Can you?
Where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are...
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. It was.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't.
I'd like to know some.
I don't.
Tell me about Antone.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've.
You really don't know anything about.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry.
My name's Gregor.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here?
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough.
Will you tell me something?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer...
Are you hiding something?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I hate to think of all I lost when they... And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashgar? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took...
But you didn't have to come here if you did.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
What's your plan with it?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off.
They must have realized.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
That's all I want.
Please, keep it to yourself.
How is it that you don't get...
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too...
I'd be interested... What can you tell me about...
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on...
Tell me about
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius.
That's all. Fact. I'd like to ask you...
Thalre, do well.
It occurred to me you might be the man to...
Lockpicks, eh? I won't ask what for.
But I want change, and only a new abbot can bring that.
Waiting pays off. There's no hurry.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Where the heck are these book pages? I need to explore the monastery a little bit. Oh, here's the alchemy bench. Bandage. Oh man, they don't have any of the other stuff that I need to make. Shoot.
God be with you. And give us the slop that's left over. Food's definitely gone downhill. I remember back when we ate like kings. And the wine. Those were the days. Listen, praise be to God.
Kiro the Wise One! There's so many books! What time is it?
Salve. Be well.
Okay, this must be my bed. Oh, crap. 3 a.m. start of the day. 4 a.m. morning. Oh, God. Oh, I'm just gonna lose. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Oh, I can't read it. Wait, where's morning prayer? That's not my bed. Hold on. Something changed with...
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Can't you see? We're at... This is not a good time.
To that end, we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Sila. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on humility.
The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
Salve, be well. I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's lab. Concoct 2 buck's blood potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know.
St. John's Wort, Dandelion, Comfrey. Two dandelions. Read, okay. Oil, a handful of St. John's worts, 1 comfrey, and 1 dandelion. Grind up the St. John's worts. St. John's. Do, 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 do. And then... One turn. Okay. I should actually do both of them? Oh. Apparently I made 3.
What is it, brother?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
Ooh! As long as you remain still. Oh. Ah, crap. I'm stuck in...
What troubles?
Is there anything I can...
You know, there is. Perhaps you've... I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could get...
You can count on my help.
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our... I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the Libri Prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to...
Is there anything you can tell me?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't.
Why can't you do it?
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me?
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried?
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go. They say Brother Solarius understands locks. But don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, we'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
I'd like to ask... What can you tell me about...
What can I say?
I meant something specific.
But you know them yourself. Antonius is hard-working and...
Wait. Saint Adalbert?
What is it, brother?
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you...
Oh, wow. Oh, crap. What part am I translating? Is it the very first part or the part in red? Because it'd be Nonam Lu. And this is like Rus Filius Aureal. Oh, that would be that one.
Can you read at all? I've...
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
Get away from that cabinet. The books stored there aren't for your eyes to see.
Two, three. After afternoon prayers, I'll basically a whole bunch of time to myself to go exploring. Maybe steal some keys.
Servus.
an indulgence chest?
Peace be with you, brother.
And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around in the garden.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Greetings, brother.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the Order. I suggest you get...
I'm interested in the other... I'm interested...
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself.
Do you have any grounds for suspect...
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circators who make the rounds despise him, and they'd never punish anyone with...
Do you know anything about...
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. He's always happy to help, which is more than...
What can you tell me about...
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more... I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me...
Sounds like you don't have much...
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, no.
What can you tell...
I'm surprised...
Can you tell me?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate. But he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me. And you know what? I'm glad to be here.
I'd like to ask you... What are the roles?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence... But it's the circators you should worry about. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always...
Who's in charge?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially Abbot Peter, and soon enough, someone else.
Are there already...
Brothers John and Nevlas. But the others have been fighting like dogs because of them. We don't have...
Why can't not...
They say we don't have enough experience to decide about anything.
Why is he...
We're young and we'll spend the rest of our lives here. And the abbot decides everything about our lives. Didn't it ever occur to you how...
Praise be... I'd like to ask... I'm Gregor and
I know. I saw you in the church during the ceremony.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that
when it's not the way...
But then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But... I'm fine. My Agnes has been gone now for 4.5 years. And still it seems like only yesterday she went to the good Lord.
Aye. You're right there.
Service.
Life is short.
Salve Domine.
looks like the dregs after a night's drinking. Who could be coming here?
Then he'd soon get his man's back.
You're right. It stunk like a wine barrel in there. It's not the first time. It's a mystery, but one that'll be soon solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.
Salve Domine.
Oh, the veil, the fun. Oh. Like, where could these pages possibly be? What do I want to do? Screw it. Oh, of course. They're unlocked. Frattery. There's one on the poem or podium. Hey, where's the frattery?
Praise be to
So then I got both from the frattery, and the other ones seem to be in locked checks, and also in the prior's chamber. But I need to find brother what's his face.
Praise be to our Lord.
Brother. It's one of those really annoying things, the fact that I need lockpicks. I'm kind of wondering how many of them I can... Now we're gonna sleep for a little bit. Oop. and get the key off the librarian, who should be asleep somewhere. Oh, crap. I just knocked out the wrong monk. Well, I might get in trouble for that. After committing a crime, you get a +1 bonus of strength and vitality to your cot or leave the scene of the crime. I need to find the librarian.
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You all want to end up...
All right.
That's more like it. Sit... I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not... What do you desire, brother?
What are you doing?
What does it look like?
But...
Youngster, when you're as...
But you're the cicators.
Well, if you really want to know, see if you...
All right. Have it your way.
Ah, down the hatch.
Every gulp a treat, isn't that the truth?
No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yorick to bring some Rhine wine. I'm losing my taste for this one.
Why doesn't Yorick drink with us, anyway?
He's young, and he wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm if he got too drunk to make it to prayer.
You mean like your good self last Christmas Day? The way you drowned out the prior's voice by snoring through the Agnus Dei?
Don't remind me.
Talk to me, brother.
You mentioned Yodok.
Nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes.
Where'd you get the wine from?
So they are, but this wine isn't fun. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty, and we need...
I'll help you.
Ha! I knew it. Help novice Yodok arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by...
All right, I'll talk. I'd like to ask you something about... What can you tell me?
What can I say?
I meant something specific.
But you know them yourself. Antonius is hard-working and will help with anything.
What do you desire?
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to...
Do us a favour, brother. Stay a little longer and have another...
Thanks, but I won't have any...
As you wish, brother.
Ah, down the hatch. Every golden streaks. No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
This family.
But where are those other stairs?
What would you like?
I'd be interested in... I'm interested in you.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip.
That doesn't sound too flat.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here...
That's all.
Treasures of forbidden learning in my reach.
What am I looking for?
Ha! This looks like the Saracen.
Servus.
The Rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered. Is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his word will not. And far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
What troubles you?
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure for our suffering abbot. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests, as he'll look like the one who wasn't taking proper care of the books. Is there anything I can do for you?
I'd be interested in finding out the background of it.
That's a strange wish you have. And the only ones who know everything about the novices are... They keep a record of every monk in the abbot's book. But you'll never get your hands on it. It's locked.
Thanks.
No, thank you. About that book. Don't even think of...
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for today's task, 2 cockerel poke. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby.
Valerian and mint. grind the mint. Oh, that's right. Spirits. First I have to do the spirits. Silly me. And then we take a handful of mint. I'll put it in the mortal. And we take another handful of mint. And we put it in the mortar. And then we're going to grind it. I kind of like this. And then we boil for 1 turn. To distill, which I I'm not entirely sure how to use the still. Okay, this is how you use the still. Okay, apparently that time I only made 1. So, first go spirits. Then mint. And more. Mint. I don't know if that means that I didn't do a very good job brewing it, or there's just a chance of making more than 1, or different potions make... You can get the chance of making more than 1, because, I mean, when I made that other potion, first time, popped out 3, and I'm...
Ah, Gregor.
I finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found...
Brother? What are you doing here?
I was feeling a bit...
Really? I'll pretend nothing happened.
Where's brother? What's his face?
Praise be to Christ.
I was talking last night with the brother Cicators.
Hey, what?
I'd like to help you.
What? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know if wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys?
You see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able...
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me.
How can I get...
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them. Brother Celerius, the cellar keeper, used to be a burglar. He knows his way...
Do you think he'll want to take...
No, but he could give some advice, or maybe get some lockpicks to open the gate. Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come and see me.
How am I supposed to get the keys from the prior?
What is it, brother?
I'm looking for some...
And what?
I'm looking for...
Lock picks?
I'd like to practice...
Just for... Praise be to Christ.
I'm looking for...
And what?
I'm looking...
Lock?
I'd like to...
Just...
Oh, shit.
What trouble?
I'm looking...
And...
I need to get...
You're not the only one.
I'm looking...
Lock?
What's it to you?
Peace, brother. So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can...
Get him some food.
Brother, what do you do?
I had other of... Really? Fine then.
Praise be to...
Brother, I've a favour to ask.
I see.
Well, yes.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off. A prop...
How could I get...
With great difficulty.
Is there any other?
The door out of the monastery is like any other. Only the lock's more complicated than most. But I can sell you some lock...
Could you...
Rob the...
You wouldn't be doing it for...
Then what could you possibly pay me? I'm done with my thieving, and you'd...
How much would you want?
A princely sum, brother.
That much? Where am I supposed to find that?
Precisely. But no groschen, no theft.
You have some interesting...
What's that?
So you turn to...
I said about secure... Without that...
No one, but... Can we do something about...
Forget it, then.
This shit off the... Really? How do I get into the briars? Thing is, I don't even know where the prior's chambers are. So either I have to go steal more food. I'm pretty sure I have to go steal more food. I'm pretty sure I also took a wrong turn.
Brother, what do you do?
I definitely would.
Really? This time...
No, no. Peter has a strong constitution. He'll still be on this earth for many years to come.
to remember which one. I think it's the Where the heck did he go?
Aha, good. Talk to me.
I'm looking for some...
And what?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, hi, Para. Don't stop going.
Praise be to our great Jesus.
See, this is rather quite. Well, it's almost 12 o'clock, and I'm
Peace
supposed
be
to.
with you, brother.
I don't know where the prior's office is. So I have to steal the keys to the priory. I only have one lockpick. And that was really hard to get. Because I had to steal, like, all of the food. To give him food. You know what I mean, Barry?
You can't just make lockpicks.
No, you can't make lockpicks. You have to buy them. And I had lockpick. Oh, actually, no. I think I actually broke all my lockpicks anyway. But I had to put all my crap in a box. But I need to get in the prior's office anyway because I need to get the list so I can read who the who's it is, and then I can make my arrest. Okay, I need to go to the scriptorum, which is these stairs over here.
What troubles you?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've...
Damun. Wait, what? Oh. Dominus. Is it Filius? That's definitely an F. Filius. Problem is telling if these are F's or S's, and things like I can't. It won't actually let me. Oh, I hope that's. I'm probably gonna bitch dead.
Oh no, such a waste.
What would you like?
I found a few pages of the tour.
Wonderful. Keep...
just want Civil War? Fuck you, Civil War. And now to save the game the only way that I can at the moment. Because I only have the one lockpick. Shit.
Salve Domine.
Brother, what are you doing?
Come now. Couldn't you just turn a block?
Fine then.
I'd like to...
Come on. The bike parade!
What?
The bike parade!
Okay.
What? South Park's on, apparently. Oh, you haven't seen the...
You're trespassing.
Yeah, I don't really care. As long as I don't get caught by, even that doesn't matter. Looking for a specific one of the brothers.
Don't move a muscle.
Ah, shit.
Brother, what are you doing?
You're right, brother.
This is your first one.
There we go. That's the guy I'm looking for.
Aha, Gregor.
I'd like to ask you something. Brother...
I see.
Well, yes.
That won't be easy.
There's something else, someone.
Brother.
I'm looking...
And...
I'm looking for...
Lock pick.
What's it to you?
Peace, brother. So you heard I'll trade them.
I already sold him a whole bunch of food. Ah, shit. And I think this is the place I have to break into. But I only have the one lock pick. I don't even know I can even pick that lock. And I thought he would train me, but I'm not seeing training possibility. There's also a chance that this is the room that I have to get into. 4 o'clock is evening mass, and then there's dinner. I'll come back here at night.
Salve. Be well.
See, lock is too difficult. Shit.
Talk to me, brother.
I'd be interested... What about you?
Be on good terms with him. He's a slimy little pedant.
What can you tell me?
That there's no man alive less...
You don't know.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him.
Why is he in the...
No one knows.
Do you think he has a...
Don't we all?
That's all I want. I'm interested...
No one knows much. It's as if...
That's all.
Oh crap, I meant to wait for 2 hours. I'm thinking, well, actually, no. I'm pretty sure I might have to go. I'm not attending my daily schedule because I have to go eat. Eat with the others. Wait a minute. Who else is in here? totally just knocked out the prior because... Because fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
Disturb anyone else. Let none air be said rather.
I don't want to go back to work.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. Novices have no business here.
Where the fuck is... Is that the study? Still fucking goddamn torch. Hold on, what the...
The books stood in there aren't for your eyes to see.
And disobedient characters, he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death.
Brother? What are you doing here?
You're right, brother.
This is your... You were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know?
Very well, brother.
Now, show me what you have on you.
Ah, crap. Are you serious? Damn it, Para. How did I get caught? How did he even see me? Shit, did I lose the keys? Shit. No, I didn't lose the monastery key.
Ah, Gregor. About those... Did you get them?
Yes?
In that case, come before midnight to the cloister garden.
Okay. What the fuck? Hold on. Sass... Kingdom come. Monastery. Where the hell... Okay, I know, but where is... Wait, there's a room with 4 chairs. Room with... Why the hell is this...
Get away from our cabinet. The book's still in the last
Benedict. Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is
Brother?
who, because of the holy
Where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't know.
You're right, brother.
This is your first.
soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this
What would you...
I'm here to...
Excellent. I want you to prepare two. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere near.
Two miracles.
God be with you.
What do you desire?
I finished my...
Show me what you... Spec...
Just accuse him?
I don't know why, but I expected the graphics of this game to be better.
What game?
Kingdom Come.
Oh. Well, it's... I believe it was a Kickstarter.
What do you desire? I'm no priest, but tell me what...
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand...
You don't say.
That's not important.
Why are you telling me this anyway?
Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief. If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but...
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices. But...
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that no one knows anything about Lucas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books.
I don't think it was him. But please, don't tell a soul.
Don't fret, my friend.
I know you're pious.
So you're finally sure? Tell me, Gregor, or Carl, or whatever your true name is.
I don't know.
Well, at least you're prepared to think and not just play blood.
I don't want to be like the people I'm looking for. If I have to kill, it should be for a
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhoff. I've robbed, and what I saw at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit. But I still had a chance.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God.
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace.
What if I wanted a different...
You could kill another novice, I suppose. If news of the murder got out from the monastery, my former friends might... Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery, and...
And where am I?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered...
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey.
What do I need?
How else will we get out?
Do you mean these?
What? I'm not going...
All right, that's it.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have it. And Gregor...
Supposedly there's a set of keys in here?
Hey, who's that?
Brother, what are you doing?
You're right, brother.
This is your You were somewhere you...
Very well.
You have a weapon. You failed to complete your...
Ah, shit. Oh well. I played this game enough.